Have you ever realized how many jobs don't actually do anything? Where it seems like someone's entire job is literally just getting in Zoom calls and sending emails. This is something that I realized pretty quickly when I briefly interacted with the corporate world. When I had a Minecraft channel that was getting millions of views a video, I hired some company to get sponsors for that channel with like big ticket sponsors. And something I noticed very quickly about this corporate culture that I have never had experience with, I left school at 16. I've never had a corporate job, but I got to see what it was like from the outside and interacting with the corporate world. And they kept doing this thing where they always wanted to get in a Zoom call with me, where they just wanted to do a performance update, which basically means them just asking me, how I'm feeling. And, it's literally just that. It's literally just that. But the thing is, in these Zoom calls that I kept getting coerced into going into each week, there would be 5 people in this call. What is happening? And it just made me wonder, how many jobs are there where people don't really do anything? And I know it's rich coming from a YouTuber. I understand that. If you want to make the claim that some engineer in AMD that's designing the next microchip, is more valuable to society and more productive than me, I agree. I'm not going to argue with you. But at least I make videos. At least I do something. There are so many people where they don't really make anything quantifiable. You can't really pin down exactly what problem they are solving. And I think this is by design. It seems like the larger a company is, the more corporate something is, the more there are people that try to look busy as opposed to doing anything useful with this busyness. And I'm not sure if this kind of just comes from the fact that people have a set work hours where they have to fill up their day with stuff, something to do, to look busy to the guy above them, right? And I think this is what's going on. I think this is what was going on with this company I interacted with. And the thing is, right, this is so fucking inefficient, but I think corporations can get away with it just because they have such an unfair advantage over a small business owner. They have such a huge unfair advantage that they have so much money sloshing around that they can get away with being slow and bloated, like many corporate offices are. Where there's so many people that literally just all they do is just fucking send emails and putz around all day, right? And again, it's a bit of a culture shock. It always kind of strikes me just how they have this culture of just wanting to chat but not actually do anything. Even with business proposals that I get on my channel, this is very fucking common. It's once about twice a week now, I get emails or DMs from people saying that they want to help monetize my content by having this course sales funnel coaching thing that they're kind of offering. And their thing is we're going to take a percentage of any sales you make. So let's say I want to go full grifter mode and actually really monetize my audience, right? These guys would be taking a cut, but they're not the ones that have made any content. They're not the ones that have, built up an audience. They're just middlemen. So I often respond to these people and I'm just okay, what exactly are you offering? And what are you asking for exactly? And they always say, hey, let's hop in a call and talk about it. Hop in a call. They always want to fucking call you. They don't want to just say in plain English, what the fuck they want to do. What exactly is your job? What are you offering? It's as soon as you try and pin them down, they want to set up a meeting or do some bullshit on Zoom or where, they can just obfuscate, simple plain English information. It's very fucking tiresome. These people are very fucking tiresome. They're just middlemen. They're just guys that are skimming stuff up from the top. They're not really making anything. They don't do anything quantifiable. And for this reason, I actually have a lot of respect for blue collar workers because, these people, they actually solve a quantifiable problem. If you have a faucet that is broken and is flowing water and you don't have the knowledge or tools or expertise to fix it yourself, you call a plumber The plumber comes in, spends a few hours, fixes the faucet, charges you some money. Excellent. Like, a real problem is being solved here. Like, you're actually providing something of tangible value. There's so many jobs that are like the antithesis of this, where they're not really solving a problem. They're not really like doing anything useful for, people that they want to do business with. They're just email senders, Zoom callers, just middlemen they don't really do anything. They don't like make anything themselves. They don't stick their neck out and try and like solve a real problem, right? They don't put themselves out there like that. I'm getting kind of sick of this. Anyone that's living in the corporate world that has a real corporate job, you can probably attest to this, right? You probably have noticed that a small minority of people in a corporate office are actually doing anything of any value whatsoever. The majority of people there are kind of just floating by. Like, they just talk their way through life. They don't really make anything. They don't really do anything. But their job is to look busy. They're not really solving a problem, but, to higher ups that are kind of out of touch, it does look like they're actually doing something. I think this is like a universal problem. I think like the larger a company gets, the more this is the case. Like the larger a company structure is, the more room there is for bloat, bullshit, and middlemen that don't do anything. And if anyone's actually gone from the transition of being in like a small business where everybody actually has to like do something to a large corporation, it's probably been quite a culture shock. If I had to like get a job at like a real Fortune 500 company, I'm sure I'd just be kind of baffled at like how things are run. Like, why does everyone want a fucking Zoom meeting all the time? Why does everyone want to send emails to me and follow up and schedule a call? Ugh. Get me out of here. I'm so happy that I'm, in like the small business world. I'm so happy I'm in, entrepreneurship. I think this is the place for me. I want to be away from these freaks, and I'm happy to be where I am.